G'day guys, David from the Xylem Zone here. Just coming to give you another tip on the cons of property investing and how to avoid them. Down in the Gold Coast and Southport at the moment, you can see that big skyscraper going up behind me there. Well, there's a few things with off the plan that can go wrong, and I've put a few tips up first, but on some previous videos, but one of the ones I want to talk about today is people often go into the concept of off the plan with an idea that they'll buy the property and then sell it before it's settled. And yep, it can be a good strategy, but it has a lot of risk. Certainly, I will say, number one, you would never ever go onto that strategy if you don't have the funds to complete and purchase the property in your own name. But let's assume that you're not doing a risky strategy like that. You're actually going into the strategy with the option to be able to settle, but you've decided that you do want to on-sell it. Well, you had to be really thinking about that option before you actually started, because in a few different areas, if you want to on-sell the property, you can run into a few things, because you've signed a contract with your name on it generally, and if you want to on-sell it, you'll have to pay double stamp duty. Often the people telling you this and giving you the idea of on-selling don't tell you this is the case. And I had one agent many years ago that they gave me this idea of on-selling, and I said, well, I don't know much about property, but I have an idea you might pay double stamp duty. And he yelled over to his friend on the other side and said, oh, if this guy on-sells a property, is there any deal? He said, oh, no worries at all. And I said, well, if you can get a solicitor on the phone for me and verify that, no worries, I'll consider it. Anyway, he got a solicitor on the phone, and I spoke to the solicitor and I said, mate, if I buy this property and then decide later I want to on-sell it, will I have to pay double stamp duty? And he said, yes. So the real estate agent was leading me astray just to get the sale, and I would have been stung for quite a chunk. And with my cost of transactions for buying and selling, legal costs, I probably wouldn't have made much money. So what's the tip here? Well, you've got to be really onto it, and especially with your solicitors, because it's different in every single state. So you do need a local conveyancer. If you're buying a property in a Queensland area, I suggest you talk to someone who's from that state. Some people do specialise in both, but as a rule of thumb, it's better to be just in the one. But as an example, in South Australia, you can buy a property and or nominee, and that's a standard thing in their contracts down there, that you can buy it in your name and on nominee standard, and if you want to later on sell it to somebody else, that's okay. Now, South Australia, I believe Western Australia does have that option as well, but don't quote me on that one. Another one in Victoria is that it's not standard for on and or nominee to be able to sell to another person on residential property, but they do have opportunities with off the plan and high-rise properties where that is an option. So again, if you're doing a transaction in Victoria, talk to your conveyancer or solicitor and find out if you have an and or nominees clause there. Now, if you want to try and get around that in, say, Queensland and New South Wales and not be hit with a double stamp duty, what can you do? Well, there's something called an option contract, and it's a contract that sits on top of your existing contract, and it allows you to secure that property in your name, but hasn't activated the major contract that allows you to then on-sell it to another person without paying stamp duty. So it is possible. It's more complex. Some developers may not accept that option contract because they want a more secure settlement. But talk to your solicitor in Queensland. It's definitely possible. I have done it before as well. But again, depending on the market, depending on how much they want sales, it will depend on the flexibility they want to provide for you. Anyway, that hopefully will get you around the con of going out and buying a property, thinking you're going to make a big profit on the upside, and then find out that half your property has been knocked out because you've got to pay double stamp duty and extra legal fees and things as well. Can't get you out of the legal fees. You're going to have to pay those, but at least you won't be hit with the other one. So hopefully that helps, guys. Have a great day, and if you don't speculate on those off the plans, they can be risky. There's a few traps there, and I'll keep coming back to you with some good content as I go along. Have a great day. Thanks for your time. David from the Xylem Zone.